Hello everybody, welcome back to Back Out of the Case. This is Skyflight44, aka Zek44, and today I'm playing Spyro Season of Flame. This is a game on the Game Boy Advance, and to be honest, a lot of people say that the isometric platformers on the Game Boy Advance really weren't all that great. Growing up with these games, there is some nostalgic value to this, but in my opinion, Spyro 2 on the Game Boy Advance, it's more so because I played Spyro 1 on the Game Boy Advance. Spyro 2 being much better design, and just a lot of the horrible little nuances in the first game completely changed. I'm not really going to say much about the actual plot, because there really isn't too much about it. Basically, fireflies, there's no more fireflies anymore, so they can't breathe fire or any of that stuff. But you can actually go and, yeah, right there, breathe basically an ice breath. And that's one of the big things about this one. We actually have ice breath now that we can actually use. We're going to be changing from ice to fire breath and stuff. One of the reasons why I'll actually say this game really isn't all that bad is the fact that I've played the first game. I've actually 100%ed the, or whatever the, 100% value would actually be. I actually did that for the first game. And I don't think I'm ever going to do that again. That game, there's a lot of things wrong with the first game, but I believe the president of Insomniac actually said that if they would have done, well, not if they would have done a Spyro game on the Game Boy Advance, but if Spyro was to be done on the Game Boy Advance, it would be sort of like what they actually did, what the Game Boy Advance Spyro games were like. It's not the... A lot of people will say that these games are bad. The only one I'll say that is, absolutely terrible, don't play it, is Attack of the Rhinox. The first game is at best mediocre, but it's not, don't ever play it, sort of terrible. This game, I'll say, is it's a decent game. God damn. Can't actually go and die in these hub worlds, which is a good thing, because I would have died there. Oh yeah, and these crystal-like things are actually 25 gems. Don't know why they really changed it though, with all the purple around. Purple about the. What are the gems looking like? It actually looks like the 5 gems actually look a bit different. They look a bit more purple than they do blue, because they were more blue in the PlayStation games. Maybe they just changed the 25 gem to look a little bit different because of that. But basically it's portals and all that. It's very, very much like the third Spyro game, Year of the Dragon, that you actually have to go and unlock a lot of the portals by getting whatever item that we have to go and collect. You can go around charging, using your flame or ice breath, stuff like that. It's basically a Spyro game. You do your gliding, your hovering, and all that. Fodder, everything. It's not all that bad. Did I actually talk to you before? Oh, no, I didn't. Knew you were gonna give me that. Brimstone. Yeah, I was really trying to go for the Spyro 3 kind of feeling. Give anything names. Granted, Spyro 3 is... I'm not gonna say Spyro 3 is my favorite. Because, to be honest, I think Spyro 2 might be a little bit better quality-wise. But the big reason why I like Spyro 3 is that it's actually a bit longer than Spyro 2 was. It's more of a, it's more of a multiple, session type game for me. I generally play the first game in one session, the second game like 1 or 2 sessions, and I can't repeat the third game, and less than 2 sessions. I just can't. That game is actually fairly long. Now I'm guessing that there's only 300 gems here, just because I'm not missing too many. If I can't find them, I'll just go and look for them on my own, but, oh, there's some. Any more around you, Bianca? No. Okay. Ooh, more gems. Yeah, I'm gonna go find these off-screen, so, wait a little while. First off, I'm kind of sorry about that little flash. I accidentally hit shift instead of control, and that made me do a save state instead of pausing the recording. Oh well. But I got the last gems. They were just around. Oh, crap. We want to first go to that farm world, just because that's going to be the area where we actually go and Bianca's gonna give us a spell or something to be able to actually use our flame breath again. But basically, I really... sometimes I wonder, why would they even have this? This is a cart. The only reason you would actually really want to use that is if you're loading the game and something's a little bit wrong if you actually have to load the game on a Game Boy Advance. But basically, all that we're really going to be doing in this game is very, very much like the original, like, collect-a-thons, and that you gather gems, go through all the levels, gather gems, go and do shit for the exclusive collectible of that game, which this one would be fireflies. But to be honest, if you actually... this game, again, I'm gonna say it's not terrible. The music really isn't all that great. There are a few good tracks amongst the games. But, the gameplay is not all that bad. The level design in this game is much better than the one in the first game. Just because there's a lot less bottomless pit heavy gameplay. A lot of the actual earlier game, Season of Ice, would actually have you always going across different pits, just gliding. Sometimes without you even really getting a chance to look everywhere where you're supposed to be going and gliding. And if you don't make it, well, then you fall to your death, and then one of the worst things in the entire game can actually happen. Now, come on. Really, again? Oh, well. One of the big things that I hated so much about the first game was the actual, what was it called? In each and every single level, there was a certain actual item, or, I mean, not item, object, that you would actually have to go and breathe fire on, or do whatever, ice breath, or whatever kind of super breath you were supposed to use. And that wasn't all that much fun. Actually, wait, no, I think it might have just been fire breath in the original game. And, like, right here, it would be something like this. If we actually went and breathed fire, this would go away and it would turn into ash. And if you did that for every single one, you would actually get the firefly at the very end. It was kind of like getting some of the skill points. And, like Spyro 2 and 3, like, Hurricos, there was these little, like, windmills that you could actually go and breathe fire or charge into to break in the second game. And if you did so, you would actually go and get a skill point. But in this game, you would actually go and get a Firefly for doing that stuff. Now, in this game, one of the big changes between this game and the first one, you would actually go and have this one, you actually do that and you die. Those things are still gone. However, in the first game, you had to do it all in one life. However, since it was so easy to die in the first game, you would easily have to go and go everywhere in the level again, which is already difficult enough, just to go and, you know, go and flame all those things again. In this game, they're going to be gone. Actually, why am I even in the ice breath? I don't really have to go back to it. Now, am I saying this game's, you know, like, great, almighty? Nah. But is this game, like, the most terrible thing I've ever played? Or is it even worth playing? I really can't say that. It's a good enough game. I just hate how a lot of people say all the actual isometric platforms on the Game Boy Advance sucked. And something like Banjo-Kazooie, Grunty's Revenge was actually a really nice game. I'll actually say it's better than this. Definitely better than this game. But let's just go back and finish off all those haystacks. The levels aren't all too long. Not to mention, we actually get some levels with Sheila and Agent 9. The Sheila levels are actually some of my favorites in the entire game. I'll definitely say that those are fun. And then there's also the ones with Agent 9, which aren't all that bad, but I could have played something better. I missed one somewhere. Yeah, I did get one there, then that means I did miss one. Maybe it was next to that, chest, no. Oh well, this is embarrassing. I can't find the last one. Oh, it's probably up here. If it isn't, then I just don't know. Really? Oh, damn. I don't actually have to go into one of those other places, do I? Oh, no, right here. Right there, there's the next Firefly. Actually, one of the extras you actually get at the very end of this game, which I actually did play quite a bit on the road, was, you'll actually be able to go and get a checkers game, which is, you know, basically just checkers. It's not like you... Beating an actual Spyro game, you really wouldn't want to go unlock something as, you know, basic as checkers, but it was actually quite a lot of fun. The AI wasn't all that bad, and it was actually a good amount of fun. Now, basically, we actually have to go and cool all of these down. You just want to go and just go in a cycle. And after a while, we're just going to get the Firefly. Actually, a lot of the level themes in this game are actually better than the first one, too. Like I've said quite a bit already, the bottomless pit heavy first game doesn't necessarily carry over to this game. Actually, two more in that one. I guess there was one for the super ice ability that we kind of glossed over. Well, I kind of glossed over it. One of you might have been saying, go and talk to Bianca again. I don't know. But damn. This game just feels so much better than the first one. And again, it's the level design, but mainly the fact that if you actually die, you're not punished by having to go through the entire level again to get all of these object things. Granted, I kind of wish I wouldn't have minded if they actually took it out, but they kept it in, and it's not too bad. So we might as well go and talk to Bianca again and get all these. Yeah, you did have one. I was right. Now, even if you actually switch out of your superpower, you can actually go and you can still actually go and use it until that time's over with. Not to mention the super ice ability actually goes and kills off enemies immediately. The regular ice one doesn't necessarily do that. Okay, now let's go and find out where the rest of those are. Probably nothing down there. All you really need to know is you have to go to the Country Farms one first, because that is the only way you can actually go and get the flame ability, and you're going to need that in the other levels. Oh, you're actually going to need that in every single level. Should be one more right up here. Granted, I didn't actually have any... Oh, there really isn't any up here. I thought there would have been one up here. I haven't actually had any practice with this game, because it's a collect-a-thon. I'm not going to remember where all this shit is, for one thing. And two, I'm just not going to have the... All I really need to know was how can I actually... How the controls work and how they feel, that's really all. Now, let's actually go in... Oh, I'd talk to you? Yeah, come on, talk to Moneybags. I want to pay for Sheila's level. 500? You son of a bitch! That's so much. Well, the next level, I'm actually going to be going and doing a Sheila for the next level. See everybody.